In honor of Valentine's Day this week, I want to dive into three different things that you can do to help you fall in love with your money. I know there might be a little part of you that is sitting here thinking, fall in love with money. Doesn't that make me greedy or gluttonous or fill in whatever word comes to mind here about your relationship with money? There's probably feelings coming up here. And if you are watching this video, you might be thinking, should I exit now? So I encourage you, bear with me. And I want to dive into the different things that you can do to change and help to create and cultivate a positive relationship with money. That's really what this is about. So the first of which is I want you to work on this relationship with your money. I want you to understand your money story. So we created a workbook for this. You can head over to the Tanis Fin Group website and it's called Your Money Story, the workbook. And the root cause of this was for me, I did this work myself. I wanted to understand, why did I make certain financial decisions that I did? Why would I spend money on certain things and not on others? And through this workbook, we are diving into the different areas of your life that cause you to feel the feelings you do about money. And it comes down to a lot of different things, right? How your parents viewed money, how you were taught about money, what economic events were happening during your childhood or into those formative years where you were entering the workforce. If you were entering the workforce in 2008, you might have some pretty limited beliefs around money and what money can do. So I really encourage you, go and check out this workbook and take the time to figure out, what is your money story? It's really interesting. I love it when people share them with me and they say, holy cow, I was working through the workbook and I realized all of the different things that happened in my family. And it may not even be your parents or, your caretakers growing up. It may be that you had grandparents that grew up during the Great Depression or other family members that were impacted by so many of the world wars that we saw during the 1900s, like Vietnam, or World War I and II, that led to that scarcity. It really is amazing to see, even though that was several generations ago, it still has a lasting impact on how we feel about money today. So I want you to really understand your money story and your relationship with money. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to do some journaling around, and this really feeds into, as you're understanding your money story, what's your money's purpose? Right? It's just a piece of paper, right? It is only the value that people give it. We see exchange rates between other countries. That's because people in Europe, they feel a certain way about the US dollar and vice versa. And that relates to that currency exchange. I want you to assign your own value to it. It's interesting. I will be working with clients and we'll talk about something that is a $10,000 investment or a $50,000 investment. They don't blink an eye, but it's funny. I'll see them and say, you want me to spend $10 on, you know, a coffee or, getting the kids lunch at school or whatever it might be. And it's interesting to see the different shift in their perspective on those certain dollar amounts. And I love to unpack with people and clients when I'm working with them how they perceive and view money. And it's interesting. Everyone has their own money story, but also their own purpose to money. And I have clients that will look at certain accounts and say, I will never touch that money until I retire, unless it's an emergency, or whatever their criteria is. And I have other clients that view money and they say, oh, it's all just one big pile. And there is no wrong or right answer, but you truly need to understand how you view money and how you view your relationship with money. And I encourage you, if you're going through this process, I would start with the Your Money Story, the workbook, because that'll help you understand why you think the way you do about money. And then as you're doing this exercise where you are sitting down and saying, okay, what is the value that I assign money and how do I think of money? You'll understand it a lot more because of your money story. I know this is a lot of writing and journaling, but this is going to be a really eye-opening experience for you to go through. Now, the third thing that I want you to do to help you fall in love with money during this season of love is I want you to understand what your goals are for the money. So we've now talked about how you subconsciously view your money. through your money story and all the things that have happened in your past. We've now sat down and we've journaled about, okay, what is the value that I give money? And then the third step in here is I want you to understand and really get clear on how you want your money to work for you. It's interesting too when I'm sitting down with clients and they'll just, back to what I said previously, they'll just say it's all one pile of money. And I really try to get them to see, okay, we have three buckets of money, right? You have your taxable funds, that's like your brokerage account. You have your pre-tax money, which is your retirement accounts that are pre-tax 401ks. And then you have your after-tax retirement money, which are things like your Roth IRA or Roth 401k. And I really try to get people to see these different buckets that we have. And everyone has a different idea of what those buckets might be used for, even retirement, right? You would think that if somebody's putting away money for retirement, it's retirement money. It's so much deeper than that. I have another video you can watch on the two different parts of retirement that's really great because there is so much more than just saying, oh, I'm going to set aside money for retirement, right? What does that look like? And I want you to get clear on what the money is working for, right? You have a purpose for it. You have the way you feel about money. What is the money going to do for you? Through all three of these exercises, I want you to understand that money is a tool, right? And it is a very emotional tool. It's amazing. Everyone's like, oh, you're just a financial advisor. I'm like, it's so much more than that. When people open up and share about their money with me, they share so much of who they are. When you're looking through someone's credit card statements and getting an idea of their cash flow, it tells the story of who they are, where they spend their money and their time and their values. And so it's one of the most exciting parts of my job is to help people get clear on how they want their money working. But it's amazing to see the stories and the beliefs that people have behind their money. So I hope through these three activities that you are able to understand your relationship with money and also fall in love with it again. It is a tool, it is a powerful tool that is going to enable you to do so many amazing things. And one of my favorite quotes that I'm going to leave you with today is that money in the hands of the right people do the right thing. A lot of us, when I reference back at the beginning of the video, you immediately thought, oh my gosh, I can't fall in love with money. That's something greedy. That's gross. Like, well, I can't do this. When people use money for good, it just compounds and you can be the model for your family, for the next generation. Hey, even to your parents, if they're still alive, you can show them the amazing things that you can do with wealth and money. So I will leave the links for the Your Money Story, the workbook, in the comments and in the show notes here. And I cannot wait to hear how it goes for you. And don't forget to fall in love with your money this Valentine's season. I'll see you next week.